For so long, we've been here, we've been trying to break.
Hi there, and welcome to another exciting and very inspirational part of Springboard Hangout. Today, it's going to be one like never. It's going to go down in the annals of the history books. You know, Paul Meyer says that productivity is never an accident. It is always the result of a commitment to excellence, intelligence, planning, and focused effort. Productivity is a result of commitment to excellence, intelligence, planning, and focused effort. Today, we are continuing our series on personal and workplace productivity. And today, we are looking at a very integral, important, so sometimes unassuming, but very, very, very relevant aspect of personal and workplace productivity. When you and I and every single individual in the team come together, we are able to accomplish great things. Today, our topic for discussion is teamwork. And I have no other person in the studio to discuss it with but the one and only Mr. Chris Diaba, our executive coach today. Now, I'm going to go away. But if one of you can guess what is going on in the studio, when we come back, I'll ask you questions and you have to tell me what the items that I'm pointing to represent on the team or who you think they are. And if maybe you can even decide that you can tell us who the person in your workplace, who that person represents, or that thing represents. I'll be right back. Call a friend to come on board and let's learn everything about teamwork and in between. You are most welcome. This is a Springboard Hangout with me, Comfort Okran. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back after this break.
He's a returner.
Should I faint? Give us one chance to impossible. Create a twist in how the story goes. Should I bend and doubt everything I've ever hoped in just because behind me is so gloomy? Hold on. What if the greatest thing yet seen is what will come tomorrow's break of dawn? Be strong. Isn't it true that the darkest hour is the one right before the day comes up? And if I give up, the shadows will show up, and the light I should be shining will be put out by my tears. I better look up, shout out to hope, what's up? I can never give up. I am yielded more than weary. Can cry, but not for a second more. Encouragement singing dewdrop. You should pray and never worry about a thing. Anxiety has got no building skills. Hold on, 'cause in a little while from now, you'll be singing hallelujah with a dance. Be strong. it's true that things will get great. It could be in a long gaze or a glance. And if you give up, the shadows will show up, and the light you should be shining will be put out by your crying. Don't give your faith up. Shout out to hope, sir.
Sylvia, get me York's rent a car. I need a car in 15 minutes. Hi, I'm Jake Morris, and I travel globally. But when I'm in Ghana, York's Rent a Car is my reliable choice for safety and comfort on the road. York's Rent a Car provides comprehensive logistics services to mainly blue chip companies as well as individual clients.
At a time we needed a car rental service, and York's fitted in very well per our standards.
Their services is top notch. Drivers are on time.
It was beautiful to see them behind the wheels, and anytime they pick up a guest, the guests were very, very happy.
Already? Excellent. York's Rent a Car provides services and expertise that include meet and greet services at the airport, car rental, driver personal outsourcing, and vehicle detailing. What's the problem? It's you. I told you. York's Rent a Car delivers world-class service to its customers, having their highest safety and comfort in mind. So watch you. Go over open for him. York's Rent a Car runs 24/7 operations where customers can make car reservations and inquiries of our services online and also call our hotline.
He's a rich and around.
Welcome back, and I'm sure you are wondering what smile I have on my face. What brought it on? Someone said something very serious, that York's rent a car should bring a car to us and then let's use. And I agree with the person. So yes, today we are talking about teamwork, and we are doing it in a different style. Usually we'll just talk, but today we are doing practical teamwork. And we have different ingredients on my table today. And before I introduce, I show you how our set is changed. Even the set design has changed today. Chris Diaba is an executive coach. He's with one of the leading financial institutions in GH. I mean, he is pumped up about teamwork, productivity, how to help you bring the best out of you, your personal, how to increase your personal productivity and everything. Chris, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening.
Thank you for having me. I'm really looking forward to tonight.
I'm glad. And you know, yesterday when we were talking about how to approach today's program, we were just bantering, and then what happened?
I think, and that's the beautiful thing about teamwork. Huh?
Yeah.
We threw up ideas, and some of the ideas, and the one we've ended up with originally would have looked like an outrageous one.
I know, right?
and we've ended up with it.
Fantastic. So you're watching us, you're wondering, what are they talking about? Right, let's go right into it. So we said, what is teamwork? How does teamwork look? Is teamwork something that is in the clouds, or is it something that we can bring right to our homes? And then, lo and behold, ta-da! Look at our table today. Teamwork. So we have fresh, not fresh, this is smoked fish. And then we also have some wele. Can anybody guess? Please tell us, where do you guess this ingredient is going to, and what food will end up cooking? What team? What results will end up happening in our homes? So we have wele. We have some goat meat as well, and then we have fresh fish, fresh snapper fish. Then we have some ginger, garlic, red and green pepper, some tomatoes, we have some ripe plantain, which is very soft. Then we have talia or macaroni. We have some. This is a giveaway.
This one.
Yes, this is definitely the giveaway. You know what is going to happen this evening in this studio, don't you? And we have some oil, green pepper, carrots, eggs, and rice. And then this one, which is the beans, and then some ground
Shrimps.
That's
the dried fish.
Dried fish, and then pepper, and some shrimps, and gari, and what do you think is happening in the Springboard studios today? What is cooking on the Springboard hangout?
I think you missed out the cabbage and onion.
Oh, there's cabbage and onions and some water, and of course some oil. Can anybody guess? Please write in the chat what we are cooking today. So, Chris, we are talking about teamwork.
Yeah.
What does what does this have to do with teamwork?
I think the idea of teamwork, and which is why I'm excited about this, is remember that we know that teamwork is a collection of people working towards a particular or a common goal.
Teamwork, but a collection of people working towards a particular goal.
Yeah. So I'm looking at this. You could see this as a collection of people.
Okay.
Working not individually. And I'm looking forward if somebody can guess where this is heading towards. Yeah. But the idea that this is working together towards a particular goal and an expected outcome, a common goal, is what really we are aspiring to engage on. So the more I think about what teamwork is, the more I recognize that this would be something that would bring out very strongly and clearly what teamwork is all about.
Okay, so let's say we are the collection of individuals. So in this case, what is the herring? Who does the herring? Who do you think the herring would represent in a particular team?
Don't forget that herring, we can see that, and it's a kind of fish, so it's protein, right? With the expectation that protein helps build the body.
Yeah.
And so I think about that. If I look in an organization, the protein group are those people who, for example, build the things that work towards the expected outcome.
Fantastic.
If I'm looking at it, let's say in the telecoms industry, it is possible that in terms of the protein, we could be looking at, what can I think about? I would have loved to say the marketing people, but the marketing people are the ones who are bringing up
let people know what we're doing.
Yes, bring out our work to the external world. So we could have that, or we could have.
This could be the people who are the build our sites and so on and so forth. And so they enable our bodies, they enable our clients enjoy the work of our.
So you're talking now about the engineers.
Yes, the engineers. Yes, in the telecom industry.
Yes.
Right. So in a typical, I'm sure somebody has guessed. I don't know who has guessed yet, but we can see that we are going towards Wachi here. So why do we like Wele? Wele doesn't have any thing in it, but do we need Wele in our Wachi?
Need, I'm not too sure.
No, I agree with you, not too sure.
But Wachi without Wele is missing out something.
No. Yeah. We can't have that. We can't have that.
So that could represent people who we may consider as nice to have, but really without them something is missing. Without them something is missing.
In this team, we have another source of protein, which is the meat and the fish.
Yeah.
They are all protein, but they play different roles, different aspects of the organization. But we need all of them to ensure that our protein requirements in our this thing is met, isn't it?
Yes. And if we still maintain the telecoms example, there are field engineers, there are the people who are taking care of the base stations, there are those who are taking care of the IT guys. You know, the field engineers, the telecoms engineers, the different kinds of engineers, right? So whether it's fish, dried or fresh, whether it's protein, they all then will fit together to help us get to where we're going.
Excellent. So we've dealt with the protein. We also even have shrimp. Then we are moving from our protein to our vegetables.
Yeah.
And then we have the onion, the tomatoes. We also have the cabbage and carrots. I've got you, baby. Don't forgive me. Carrots and then some green pepper. And we have our vegetables. Where do the vegetables play, or in an organization?
Now, let's think about vegetables. Think about the role they play. And as I'm talking, I can hear my dietitian telling me that every meal you're taking, you must have vegetables
with it. Yes.
Initially, I'm asking myself, why the stress?
Why they worry?
You know, but the more you think about it, the more you realize that the vegetables give us things that would help us, you know, whether it's got to help us with digestion, help us to enhance our vitamins, you know, all this would make up one component of vegetables or the other. I understand that the green vegetables, the red vegetables, each of them play different roles. You know, so they could be in our organization, people who may not necessarily be in the front line, but they support the interface between the front line, for example, and the client by
like
having
the finance and the...
It could be the finance. Finance is big deal.
It's big deal.
Finance
Without the cash, there's no organization.
Yes.
I mean, we always say cash is king. Yeah. Okay. Right. So we've worked. I looked at the vegetables, the role they play in the organization in terms of they being the interface between our clients and the organization itself. So the administration role.
Yeah, it could be some of the administrative roles. We've talked about finance.
Okay. So then we have our spices. We have different types of pepper, you know, and I really like my pepper.
Hot.
Very hot. So here we have the spices. What role if we're taking our team, what role will such people play in our team?
A couple of things come to mind. Spices, the flavor they give our food.
Okay.
You know, and they're not just flavoring, they're also adding something to the taste.
Yeah.
So the flavor, I didn't want to say scent. There must be a better name.
Aroma.
Aroma. Yes. So
the aroma.
The aroma then also, so they're giving us the flavor, they're giving us the aroma. And what I find very interesting is and we'll come to the carbs in a moment, but there's only some amount of the spices you can put in the food.
Yeah.
You can't attempt to put as much spices as you'd put, for example, protein or carbs.
Yeah.
And yet when you take the spices, you spice the protein, you spice the stew, you spice your favorite, the pepper, you know, and so the spices are moving in all the directions.
What role? What in an organization? Who or which role can that be in terms of spices?
It could be HR. HR. Do you just think about your organization?
You know, sometimes you don't really like the HR people. The policies that you pulling out, we really don't like.
That's actually where I was going. That there are people who have discomfort with HR. And yet, if they have issues, the first thing they are thinking about is, I need to go to HR.
You mean we love you? It's a
love-hate relationship.
Because you crack the whip, and yet you're the same people who save us when our hide is against us. Okay.
So just imagine your pepper. You're eating the hot pepper. Sometimes you're sweating from different parts of the face.
Indeed. Right. So let's go to the carbohydrates, like the gari, the rice, the thalia, and even the what do you call it? The plantain.
For our wache, we know that the base is the beans and the rice. And yet, when we're cooking the beans and the rice, we're not cooking the plantain at the same time.
No.
So plantain will come later in the day, right?
Yeah.
So the base, the solid base, the people who serve as the backbone. And for me, what is remarkable is that we need a lot of them to help us in our context. In other contexts, carbs may not be that high, but you can't have more of other things as you'd have your wache. because the wache is the
Is the understudy.
So you come to the organization. Who in your organization are those people who are the base, the
Who
ones
make
who
it work.
Yes, who may be never even seen,
Right.
but not. You can't take them out. If you take them out, if
There's
you
no
take the rice
organization.
and beans out of the wache,
There's
you won't
there's
call
no
it wache.
food. No, you won't. You can't. What would you call it?
Well,
Even
maybe
the combination
will be something
will be
else.
if you cook the rice alone or you cook the beans alone, we are eating something else.
Yes.
Right. But then these two, we have the oil, we have the water. I think we've dealt with everything. Oh, salt. No, the salt will go to the spices.
Spices, yes.
Yes. We've got water, we've got oil.
Oil.
What role would you assign either the oil or the water in an organization?
Let's go to water first. The water we know would be, if you like, the binding agent.
Yeah. Yeah.
For the rice and the beans. It would be added to the stew. It will be used to wash the vegetables.
Everything on the
Everything.
steam. Everything on the steam.
Everything. I'm beginning to wonder, shouldn't that really be the HR function? They wash you well.
No, but you are spice.
Yeah.
But don't we need, there's one thing that makes the organization roll. One function without which an organization cannot work. And that's leadership. Doesn't the water, because the leader must interface with every single thing.
Yeah.
The leader doesn't necessarily must be the organizational leader, but in teams, different teams, there must be somebody who is running, not running, but
Simply like water.
shepherding the effort.
Very crucial. Very, very crucial. I like that.
Crucial.
I like that because when I think about the water and I think about the leaders or your line manager, they are the ones who put all the combination together.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And at the same time, putting the combinations together, they are the ones who make everybody rise.
Yeah.
Or four.
We'll not do that one, but we'll talk about the rice.
Let's skip the rice.
Yes, we'll talk about the rice. Right. So we've looked at, and what about the oil?
The oil also then, you would find that the oil activates the flavor and the aroma, for example.
Okay.
The oil is what we would use to fry our ripe plantain. So
Yes.
you could see the oil even as a executive team.
Okay. The executive team, so like the board, the ESCO.
Yes, the ESCO.
Okay, right. Okay, so we've looked at the whole setup, and now we have. And viewers and listeners, today we're privileged, really privileged. When we reached out to, because after we've put this together, something must go down.
It's important.
So we reached out to Alhaji Wache, and she sponsored today's program. So today's program, we have Wache on set, brought to us by Alhaji Wache. Alhaji Wache, thank you so much for joining the fun on the show today. Right. So Chris, we have looked at the individual ingredients. Is this how the team works? Is this teamwork?
Go back to what we said about the definition for team.
Yep.
A group of individuals.
No, individuals.
Working together.
A group of individuals. I mean, a group of individual ingredients, a group of individual people, a group of individual from different places and working
together. Yeah. To give us what Alhaji's wife has given us. Now, that's interesting because, and I like the way you kept emphasizing a group of individuals.
Yeah.
They can stand alone.
They can stand alone.
There are people I know who maybe out of high health zeal, they will chew carrots and chew maybe some tomatoes.
Yeah.
But they can't call it wache.
No, they cannot.
Yeah. Now, there are people who can be a little adventurous and whilst you're preparing the food, they are busily chewing the protein part, you know, but it will still not be wache.
Yeah.
What is key is the individuals need to work together. They must interact with each other.
They must
to
interact.
give us an outcome.
An outcome.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that is what teamwork is about. Whilst we're juggling with that, there are some of the ingredients that we would not use too much of. There's some we would use a lot more of. Imagine if the soil decides that, well, you're giving too much attention to the rice and beans. I want you to add me to the food at the same quantity as
one
rice
touch.
and beans.
We'll be eating the sea. Indeed. So we need to become the individuals in the team have to combine in a particular way to achieve a particular outcome. And the thing is just going crazy on social media. Ima is saying hello, watch it Sunday. And Albert, you are saying, whoa, that just the setup is the message in itself. Is it Wele that I am saying? Yes, it is Wele. It's Wele in all its glory. and Gladys Edu says that, yep, ingredients for watching. Gladys, you have won yourself. And in this case, Gladys, kindly share your number with 0244, your 0244 02499995555 02499995555. And Gladys, tomorrow we'll deliver Alaji's wache to you. I hope you're in Accra. I was going to say wherever you are, but if you're in Accra, we'll deliver Alaji's wache to you. You got it right, and you have to taste that.
Fantastic.
Alaji's wife wache. Yes, Evangeline Benati says that, wow, Chris Diaba, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Albert Otis says that, hey. Joel Janjo says that is a huge wache. Wait. Yes, Joel, we are now going to cut it up. Don't worry. We will cut it up and we'll get it there. And Belinda says that certainly everybody matters in a team. And Alfred is giving us thumbs up. And James Akori is saying that very impressive. Thank you, James. Thank you guys for sending us your, and to let us know if you look in your organization, what do some of these ingredients represent? How can we, so our next step is now to see how do we combine the ingredients. So, or how does teamwork work? That's the next part of our conversation.
Yeah.
Well, how does teamwork work? And so let's continue with this conversation because the conversation is definitely rocking.
Yeah.
So we have this beautiful setup, but seriously, is it possible that I can combine the beans with the fish? With the fish. What will happen?
We'll have to ask our chef if you'll be getting close to the hospital. But it possibly will be an unpleasant experience. It will not be wache.
Why? So it implies that the individuals in the team, you just can't combine them anyhow.
No.
Why?
Because each person has a role they play. In a team, there are people whose role is to get into the gutters, quote unquote, and do what you'd call the dirty work.
Yeah.
There are people whose role is to be in the front line and engage with our external stakeholder or our customer.
Yeah.
There are people, for example, like marketing, whose role is to go out there and say, you know what, there is some solid solution we have to offer you. There are people like sales who, after the marketers have announced all that, would say that you are tempted, aren't you? You are attracted, aren't you? We want to meet your need with these offerings. Now, imagine that somebody who is in the gutters, the back office, for example, says, I also want to be in the front line.
Yeah. Because I mean, why should it be only the marketing people who go and meet them? I climb the towers. I make sure that there's no interference with the waves that we send to our clients, but today I'm tired of that. I also want to go and meet the clients.
To the extent that the decision to meet the clients is to be able to understand things from the client's perspective, you can. However, I want you to visualize if you get to speak with an IT person. And I find this very interesting. Have you had an IT person come to work on your computer when you have a challenge?
Yeah.
Do they ever tell you what they did with the computer?
Why should they? They think that we speak, they speak computer gobbick.
Yes.
So when you ask them about what is going on, they're like, this one, the CPU has, and the has, and then you're like, can you English? And they don't know how to speak English.
Yes.
They speak computer speech.
They speak computer speech. Imagine them going to the front line speaking to the client. Imagine them engaging with an irate customer, a customer who is so angry. The computer person was like, hey, what's your problem? Please find somewhere to sit. Because they don't find that as comfortable. It is possible that there's somebody who is in the IT space who knows how to engage with clients great. But that's because he's done the shift to be able to engage with his clients in a manner that frontliners engage with the client. So when you think about it that way, the start of the whole experience is my putting the rice and the beans together.
Okay. So we
Not
combine...
with the fresh fish,
Okay.
but the combination of the rice and the beans.
Okay.
That's work going on in the background to
Yeah.
produce something that our marketers would go and tell the world, and that our salespeople would take out to the world, and that, in this sense, the world being our customers, will engage with our front line to purchase or to get those offerings.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So here's where I am going with this whole concept of teamwork. Be aware of what your role is on the team.
So number one, be aware of what your role is in the team.
Yes.
Okay.
Be clear on what together as a team we want to achieve.
So we want to achieve not fish and beans combination. We want to achieve rice and beans combination.
Yes.
Wachi. And we need to add a little bit of this leaf to combine it to make sure that we've got the right texture, we've got the right, and water to make sure we've got the right texture, we've got the right color. So we must know what you want to achieve. We must know what our role is. Okay. Yes.
And we must know how our role fits in the bigger picture.
How our role fits in the bigger picture.
Yes. I am rice. Oh, back to the example. I'm beans. My role is to combine with the rice to give, if you like, the base of the wache.
Yeah.
Where this, which are the what we call the wache leaves, washed with water, would give us wache. Right? Now, that is what my role is as beans.
Yeah.
I must recognize that the protein in the dried fish has the role in the shito.
Right. Right. It doesn't come anywhere near the stew that we'll do for the stew.
No. So that awareness of not just my role, but the other person's role helps me to position myself in the best place so we can together meet what Alaji's wife has presented here as the final product.
Fantastic, 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 fantastic. So I should know my role in an ideal team. Each individual realizes what he or she brings to the table.
Yes.
Secondly, the role that particular individual plays on the team. So if I'm not a frontliner, I shouldn't go and be worrying the frontline. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't know what the frontline people shouldn't do. Ideally, you should know what they do.
Yes.
But you can play their role, and you cannot therefore go and say, no, I also want to be the frontliner, and therefore no, because you can't play that role.
No, you can't.
You are
and
not
even
fish.
if
you
can,
are beans.
moving from your role to the front line leaves a gap at the back. So that's where I'm pointing out to the fact that be aware of what your role is and in relation to other roles.
Be aware what your role is in relation to other roles. This is getting so interesting, but we need to go for a quick break. Therefore, we are leaving on a quick break. We are going for the game changer break. When we return, we see how this wache will go down. Please don't go anywhere. Call a friend. Send us your questions because I can see there are so many questions you want to ask. We'll be right back.
He's always turning around.
$85 billion. At its peak, that was the value of the most expensive joke in the world. For context, that's like Pinterest, Southwest Airlines, and Rolls-Royce combined. And if you haven't guessed by now, I'm talking about the people's cryptocurrency, Dogecoin. Dogecoin was born in 2013 as a parody merging the Doge meme and Bitcoin, the dominant cryptocurrency. But how did Doge explode from its comic origins to one of the top cryptos worldwide? Today, our game changer is community. Doge's rise has little to do with its quick transaction times or the microtransfers it enables. Doge's secret is people power. Its early adoption came through the internet forum Reddit, where people used Doge to tip content creators. But as Doge communities sprung up online and its adoption grew, it became more of an investment. And that's where the story gets crazy. Crypto enthusiasts, in their quest to get Doge to the moon, or at least to $1, have taken over the internet. Famous Doge fans like Snoop Dogg, Mark Cuban, and Elon Musk have become evangelists and helped to popularize the coin with their tweets. As a result, Doge's value has grown by a staggering 26,000% in the last 6 months. At the end of the day, Dogecoin has value because its dedicated community believes it does. Sometimes we doubt the things we create, or we even do them as a joke. But we should still put them out there because we don't determine their value, the market does. Dogecoin may have started as a joke, but thanks to the power of community, today it's no laughing matter. This has been the Game Changer with Jojo Okran. Have a phenomenal week.
He's always turning around.
Welcome back to the Springboard Hangout. And today I'm hanging out on a watcher theme with Chris Diaba, our executive coach. And Chris, we are talking about personal and workplace productivity, and we are focusing today on teamwork. And today we've gone crazy, and we are attempting to cook wache virtually. We've already got our outcome with our largest wache by us, our largest wise wache by our side, and we realize that a team. If you look on our table, the team consists of individuals, as you can see, the individual ingredients that we can use to do wache here. And afterwards, after looking at with the team being filled with individuals, we also then shared the fact that these individuals play particular roles. They should have a vision for their work or an outcome that they envisage to come out with. And we realized that everyone has a role, a place to play. And depending on what you are or what role you play on a team, you can influence what is going on. Chris, if you look at the Dogecoin, you were like, what? I should have known about this earlier.
I'm telling you.
But a quick comment on that.
Very quick comment. And this is where it gets interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The point around the fact that if you have an idea
mm-hmm.
and you feel even it's a joke or it feels crazy, just put it out there. This concept, as a reflection of teamwork,
mm-hmm.
started as a crazy idea.
Very crazy idea.
Yeah. And we're here today.
Mm-hmm.
And so that for me represented one thing that I've been thinking about. Plus the fact that the progress of the Dogecoin
mm-hmm.
is really
remarkable
and interesting. And that's something to get us thinking, the things we don't think are valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Don't shoot it down. find out how it's meeting a need.
Possible.
Yeah, but that's a conversation for another day.
And definitely another. So let's go back to our team.
Yeah.
So we are attempting to combine our individual team members, our individual people into a team. And we realize that we have to combine them into groups or into departments.
Yes.
And so how do you place a team member in his or her optimal space?
Interesting. What are the skills, the talent, the abilities, the knowledge, the experience that individual has? How does that make the person best fit?
Best fit.
Yes, for a particular role. And that's something we must have very clearly in our mind. And we must have it clearly in our mind from two perspectives.
Yeah.
From the individual's own perspective and from the manager's perspective.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing me feeling I can do something.
Yeah.
It's another thing being able to actually do it. And so the able to actually do it is something that a line manager can see. They engage with you, and then they explore with you how you can be best fit in a particular role.
Yeah.
So that's what I want us to have in our mind. Don't run around thinking that it's a fancy place, so I want to be there. You must have what it takes to be there.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have what it takes to be there, begin to analyze, and if that's where your aspiration is, begin to analyze what's your gap from what you have now and what the role requires.
Excellent. Fantastic. Fantastic. So we have been able to position, place the individuals in their optimum space. So we have now realized that, okay, the rice and beans go together. This pepper, dried fish and shrimps, some salt and oil, they belong together in the stew. And so we have organized them into departments, and they are running at optimal space.
Yes. I don't know if it's okay to pause you here and make a point around the team.
Yeah.
I want us to be clear on how the team can keep being, you talked about operating an optimum.
Yeah.
Now, to make us a team that is effective, we must remember that there are some features that are key.
Okay.
One is our understanding of dependence.
Dependence?
We depend on each other.
A good team depends on each other. Right.
I can't be independent on a team. And like somebody said, when you spell team, there's no I in there. So one is dependence and recognizing that your output may be my input.
Yep.
My input may be somebody's output.
Fantastic.
Or my output could also be somebody's input.
Yeah.
Yeah? So if I'm not mindful of that, and I'm so keen on being the rice, or being the beans, or even being the vegetables.
Yeah.
Remember that we take the vegetables, and they are not an end in themselves.
They have to be mashed.
Combined, yes. And then they mashed, they're blended, they go into stew.
Yeah.
So the stew becomes the output of these vegetables.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the stew is not an end in itself.
No.
We would serve the stew, garnish it on the rice and beans.
Yeah.
So dependence is one thing.
Dependence.
The second one is accountability.
Accountability.
Many times on a team, everybody is expecting the boss to be the owner of accountability. But one powerful component of effective teams is peer accountability.
Okay.
I must be able to hold my colleague responsible for what they commit to do and what their role is. Now, the leader must aim at building the kind of space, and these days we speak a lot about psychological safety, creating the kind of environment where I, as a member of the team, feel comfortable and confident to tell my colleague that we were expecting you to meet this aspiration. What happened?
So then what you are telling me is we shouldn't depend on the head guy, the head of department,
Only.
to always be calling out those who are not meeting the team aspirations.
Absolutely.
We should be, as team members, be able to say, Charlie, Chris, this is what you know do well. And vice versa. And most importantly, we should have the space, the opportunity to feel that if I call you out 2 days down the line, my head will not be chopped.
Now, to be able to do that, so we've talked about dependence, we've talked about accountability. To be able to do that, we should have an environment of trust.
Trust. Very important. Yesterday you shared a very important thing about trust.
Yeah.
Thank you for that message. Trust. So we have accountability, we have dependability, we have trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
So trust becomes the, if you like, the central point, the glue that connects accountability, dependability. Because remember, if we have a team where trust is absent, guess what? People are not comfortable and don't feel psychologically safe to talk about the mistakes they have made. What do? They sweep it under the carpet until one day it blows up in everybody's face.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So trust is crucial. An environment of trust makes it easy for all of us to be able to hold each other accountable, for all of us to be comfortable to depend on each other.
Fantastic.
The last one I wanted to draw out is the issue of conflict resolution.
Conflict resolution, because Charlie, we are human. Charlie,
Exactly.
you go get on my nerves.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
I will
yeah.
tell you something where you know they like, and then Charlie.
Ibin. So, how do we resolve conflict? Because conflict will happen. And the concept or the conversation around conflict management is a big one that we can look at in a different forum.
Look at it in a different story.
Conflict resolution is bound to be key to what we do, because conflict is bound to happen.
Without fail.
Yeah? And so if conflict is bound to happen and we get it on like that, it is easy for us in an environment of trust to be able to take correction. Now, if I tell you or I hold you accountable and you are not happy about it, we then know that there are some norms around resolving conflict.
Okay.
So conflict resolution is the last but one. The final one I'll add very quickly is recognition.
Recognition. Why
Let us
recognition?
recognize everybody for the role they play and what they bring to the table.
Fantastic.
You know, when we started, we're talking about the ingredients, and we said that our doctors or our dietitians tell us that Willie doesn't add anything. But we made the point that you can't have wache without Willie. You know, immediately you start having wache without Willie, we know you are trying to. Yeah. Maybe it's the RSV of wache that you're trying to produce.
We are doing a revised version. The comments are flowing. And if you have any questions for us, please send us your questions. And Eunice from Kumasi says that today's hangout is very deep. The practical way you are handling teamwork is fantastic. Thank you, Eunice. We
Lovely.
love that. And then Abraham says that thank you, Comfort and Chris, for this insightful session on teamwork. Thank you. It's the best illustration I have come across. Yes. And then Promise Fiajigbe. Promise, my main man. Promise says that I'm really happy to hear that word from Chris. If you have a crazy idea, just put it into practice. I love this. Yes, indeed. Thank you for enjoying yourself. And Chris just spoke about key things that make a team work: dependability, accountability, trust, and conflict resolution.
And recognition.
recognition.
Yeah.
Fantastic, fantastic. So we're moving on, and this has been one crazy edition of the Hangouts, and I'm loving it. Pardon? Okay, so yes, so Chris. Chris.
Yep.
Chris.
Yeah.
So we've cooked out, but we've almost finished. We've finished having a fantastic team, haven't we? Or there's something that we are missing.
I want to draw attention to teamwork as we have it.
Yeah.
It doesn't come easy for all of us.
Teamwork doesn't come easy for all of us. Why?
Let me take you back to our kindergarten days. I don't know if any of you remember, consistently we hear, do individual work. Do individual work. And so from that early stage, when we're doing our work, some of us even cover our work and write.
Yeah.
Then we get into the basic school, we get into the SHS, we get into the university, and every time we are asked to do individual work. Then we come into the corporate world, and all of a sudden they say we should do teamwork.
Yes, we should collaborate. How? How? Should we visit that how next week?
You're telling me something.
I'm trying to tell you something because our time, unfortunately, is so gone. It's up.
What?
Our time is up, and therefore we need to suspend because actually there's some outcome over there. That Chris, could you reach into the bag and let's see what we have there?
So Alaji's wife, which is the outcome.
Outcome. This is what we are looking at. This is the teamwork effort that we try to combine today. And fortunately or unfortunately, our time is up. But if you can see this is a well-designed, you can see, okay, let me see you here. You are here, right? You can see the fish that we have there. You can see the willy, you can see the egg. Everything combined with the salad, all combined to give us a fantastic watching. So, Chris, on behalf of Team Springboard, I want to say thank you for coming to us, for helping us to do teamwork. Next week, we'll be back with part 2 about teamwork. And please start enjoying your watching. Well, I'll close and come and join you shortly.
It's very important. Thank you very much.
Dear viewers, I'm sure you've enjoyed yourself today watching us discuss teamwork in a different environment. You realize that we have individuals in a team, and these individuals come together to have selected outcomes to ensure that they are able to achieve what their particular part of the organization performs. So then, whereas they are individuals coming into an organization, when they come into the organization, they are combined in different ways to achieve particular results. Those results cumulatively enable us to serve our clients. If you are there and you don't have a team working with you, you may achieve some results, but your results will not be optimum. It is my dream, it's my aspiration, it is my hope that today, as you have listened to us, you see how you can combine the individuals in your team or the individuals in your organization, or how you can link with those that you work with to rock in your organization, so that your organization will be one that people would like to work with, because they come there and they see the teamwork that comes on through your collaboration, through your communication, through your leadership, through the way you resolve conflicts, through the way you have each other's back. Teamwork is a beautiful thing when we do it. And I want to urge you, I want to challenge you. Let that be part of what you do every day when you go to the workplace. You know, this has been the Springboard Hangouts, and I want to encourage you. Please, in case you want to see it again, watch us on ETV Sunday evening at 5 p.m. Now, those of us who want to go further, at 7 p.m. on the dot, go to Joy FM and you see Dr. Hodasi. He was one of the surgeons who separated conjoined twins first time in this country. And we are looking at a story in the engine room. Another thing, that particular series would be broadcast again on Joy Prime at 5 p.m. on Monday. So I would encourage you, join Albert with Reverend Holasi as they look at how they were able to do that. Until we come your way again next week with part 2 of teamwork, have a fantastic week. You know, we always love you from the Springboard Hangout. God bless you. My name is Comfort Okran.